What's the Chow Chinchows? JoesphGames here, your coach of the Chester Chinchows, and welcome to another WSS team builder. It is week 2 and we are fighting the Poole Piplups, coached by CCisme, and we are hoping to continue our winning ways conqueror streak because it's only been 1 week. I made a rhyme and that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to do any more because I don't have time. I did it again. I didn't see, I made another rhyme. Anyway, today is going to be a very interesting team builder. Technically I've already recorded this team builder, but sadly Camtasia did not record the call that I had with Darude Storm, and he getting his thoughts and insights would have been amazing for this team builder, but sadly that's no longer the availability to do that, so never mind. We'll try this again next week, and I really want to get Darude in here to do some team building with me sometime during this tournament, and if it doesn't happen, that's just the way of the world really, I guess, but we'll have to wait and see on that. I really want him in for next week though. Anyway, before we get on to looking at this week's team that is going to stop CCisme, we're going to look at CCisme's team. So, CCisme drafted a really interesting team. He started off with a Megalopunny as his Mega, so that is a very scary mon. His Megalopunny is quite fast, it does a lot of damage to things, it is both fighting and normal type, it has Scrappy for an ability, so ghost types can be hit by it, so it's a bit iffy, but there's ways to work around it. And then he has Raikou. Raikou is a very fast mon, it does a lot of damage with special attacking moves, and there's a lot of special attacking moves that I didn't realise Raikou could get, like Extra Sentry, when I was looking at his movesets with Darude. But yeah, Raikou can get Extra Sentry, and Raikou is a very scary mon, it's one of his threats for this team. And then of course we have Donphan, his Great Wall. Donphan is a very scary mon again, but we have a few ways to get around it hopefully, and everything should be fine with Donphan. Donphan is interesting because it can be a great wall, it can set up rocks, and it can spin those rocks away as well, and it can do some decent damage. I mean, you got 2 kills with it last week, so proof it can do decent damage, I guess, there. Umbreon. Really not much I can say about this Pokemon because it's just a tank. It will tank anything. It can't really do too much in the ways of damage unless it's using foul play, which it probably always will, but it's basically there to just tank things and moonlight or wish and help other people out with baton pass and wish and stuff like that. Basically it's just there to tank and be annoying. That's just basically Umbreon in a nutshell. Conkeldurr. Conkeldurr is a very interesting Pokemon and can do some serious work with its abilities of both Iron Fist and Guts, and of course it is very powerful as well. Conkeldurr is very powerful and it does serious amounts of damage, and it's probably one of the only good Pokemon that can use that Z move really well, because I will get onto his Z Crystal in a minute. Then we have Alolan Marowak. Alolan Marowak is a very interesting mon. I'm looking forward to seeing what it can do. It's very fast and it's definitely going to be holding that Fit Club, and that will boost his attack by a couple of... that'll boost his attack and it'll make him do more damage to me, which I'm kind of scared about, so really don't want to be on the end of like a Bone Club or any of... I think it's like a lot of Marowak's signature moves, like Ghost Bone or something like that. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but like it's a very scary move to deal with, and he does get some good, interesting moves, being both Ghost and Fire type. So yeah, not looking forward to a Alolan Marowak. Then we have Crobat. Crobat is one of the fastest mons in Pokemon. It is just so goddamn nippy. It can do anything it wants really easily. It can use acrobatics, it can use poison type moves really nicely, flying type moves really nicely. It can U-turn, So if it's running into some trouble, you can just get the hell out of there and not have to worry about it. And that's one of the amazing things about Krow. Any kind of situation where it's a bit of trouble, it's got a way out, and that's what U-turn's all about. So it's kind of annoying. Then we have Empoleon. Empoleon is an interesting Pokemon too. I really like Empoleon, but it's also quite tanky, and it's also very, very fast when it comes down to it. Like moves like Aqua Jet do really good damage with Empoleon, and Iron Head can do some interesting damage as well. Of course, then he also has Rabombi. Rabombi is this fairy type, and Rabombi is an interesting one. I haven't had a chance to play with it too much myself, but it does work out really nicely on a team like this, and it is really, really interesting. So Rabombi can be really kind of scary sometimes. And then we have his 2 points picks, which are Metagross. Metagross is a very, very interesting mon. Metagross is kind of scary. We all know what Metagross can do, really, when it comes down to it, and it is just a very scary mon when it wants to be. And then we have Feraligatr. Feraligatr is it's another interesting mon. It doesn't have a lot of scary moves. It's got an amazing attack stat, but like other than that, it's not really that much of a real threat to me, really. I mean, I like it, but it's not really much of a threat, really. Okay, so that is Darude's team. No, that's not Darude's team. That's CC's team. That's CC's team. That is the Poole Piplups. So, yeah, it's a very interesting team. His Z Crystal is the Fighting-ism Z. I don't think he's bringing it this week. I really don't think it's coming. I mean, I don't really, other than... I really don't see who he'd run it on, really. I mean, possibly Metagross, but I don't see why you'd run it on Metagross. You're more likely to run an Assault Vest. With Conkeldurr, you're more likely to run something like Life Orb or Choice Band, or maybe even Scarf but like you're not really running the Fighting-ism Z, so I don't really see where the Fighting-ism Z is going to come from, if it's going to come at all. The Mons, I'm probably thinking he's going to bring Lopunny. Probably going to bring Raikou. I probably could see Donphan there as a wall, and to set up rocks and possibly to spin rocks away if he needed to. We don't actually have a decent rock setter on our team, so I don't think he'd need to carry Rapid Spin, but you know, it's one of those moves you always seem to carry sometimes. Umbreon could come as well because of wall, just simple wall. You can bring Crobat for speed, you can bring Alolan Marowak for also speed, you can bring Rabombi if he wanted to. He's probably going to definitely be bringing Metagross. I don't see Feraligatr coming, I don't really see Conkeldurr coming, and I don't really see Empoleon coming, really. Those are the three I really don't see coming, but like there's a lot of potentials here. There's a lot of potentials on his team that could come, so it's very, very interesting. And he did win 5-0 last week, so that's a little intimidating since I only won 3-0. So that's a little intimidating that he won 5-0, I won 3-0, and I really don't want him to win again because I want to win this one. Anyway, let's take a look at my team. Well, mine and Darude's team, but I think is going to stop him. So here it is. We have Saw, our Latios, Colin, our Togekiss, Clubber Lang is back, that's our Breloom. We have Charles, and Charles is in charge, team captain of course, the Nidoking. Then joining the team for this week we have Runner, the Suicune, and extension cord, our Executree. So let's go into our movesets and let's talk about these Pokemon. So first off we have Saw. Saw the Latias is holding the leftovers with Levitator's ability, and of course it has the moves Psyshock, Shadow Ball, Thunder Wave, and Recover with the EVs of 252 in defense, 8 in special attack, and 248 in HP. So, Saw, we had a few talks off screen with Darude, and basically we were commenting over Psychic and Psyshock, and we went for Psyshock this week because Psyshock is damage due on the defense stat. So if your defense is more, it does more damage. I think that's how it works. So yeah, it's based on the defense stat, so it can do a lot of damage to things like Conkeldurr if it does come, or it can do quite a bit of damage to Crobat as well, actually, probably. I haven't really tested out this theory, but I think it could probably do some serious damage to Crobat. We have Shadow Ball for things like his Metagross, and not many people can take a Shadow Ball really well on his team, so Shadow Ball's quite good there. Recover is for recovery, and then Thunder Wave is very, very interesting because we can just get rid of some speed from his Mons, and that would work out really nicely to get rid of some speed to sort of ruin their days, like Crobat for example. Ruining Crobat's day with a Thunder Wave would be really nice. Ruining Rabombi's day with a Thunder Wave would be also quite nice too. But the one thing about Thunder Wave in Gen 7 is it does have an accuracy now, sadly, so it's not always going to hit, so it's quite iffy to pull it off, but like the strategy still works. Then we have Colin, our Choice Scarf holding Togekiss with the Serene Grace ability, and its moves of Dazzling Gleam, Air Slash, Flamethrower, and Trick. Trick is going to be very, very interesting, and I can't wait to explain that to you in a minute. But it has the stats of 252 in special attack, 240 in speed, 4 in special defense, 4 in defense, and 8 in special attack. No, 8 in HP. Sorry, I got mixed up. 8 in HP. Anyway, so basically, Togekiss is here to be a little bit of a tank, but also here to try and outspeed most of his Mons. It can outspeed anything that isn't Scarfed, which is really nice. It can do some serious damage with things like Flamethrower and Air Slash, and Dazzling Gleam is there to deal with anything. Like for example, is a good Conkeldurr switch in. It would be our Togekiss with Dazzling Gleam. It also does pretty nice work to some of his other Mons with Dazzling Gleam as well. It can do some serious damage. We should be able to do some serious damage to Lopunny if it comes in with Togekiss. It can work with Umbreon pretty nicely as well, and there's a few interesting ideas it can work with really, but it's not meant for Umbreon, but it could work against Umbreon, and that's cool. The main thing Togekiss is going to be here for, and it's the funny thing too, is Trick. Trick is a very, very interesting thing because we could give him a Choice Scarf, and that Choice Scarf, he's not going to appreciate that Choice Scarf. Not many of his Mons will appreciate a Choice Scarf, and we might, depending on who we've tricked, we might get something back that actually might benefit us. I mean, a Choice Scarf benefits us pretty nicely as well, but like getting something like Lefties would be pretty cool, or getting something like a Life Orb, or so we can do a little more damage, or getting one of his items that might aid us in the battle. I mean, a Choice Scarf aids us in the battle pretty nicely, but you know, we might be able to get something else. We can't trick the fighting, we can't trick a Z-move item, and we can't trick a Mega, but other than that we should be able to trick anything else. So tricking is an interesting idea, and if I can pull it off at the right time, it could work out very nicely. Then we have Clubber Lang. Clubber Lang is our Breloom. This week is holding a Life Orb with Technician, with the moves of Moth Punch, Rock Tomb, Bullet Seed, and Spore on its moveset, and of course the EVs of 252 in attack, 252 in speed, and 4 in defense. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I was thinking to myself, why is it like that? I didn't click the set to set it like that, but it's fine. Anyway, and it's got a Jolly Nature as well. So yeah, this is looking like an interesting set. I mean, basically this is a standard Technician set really. Technician does anything that's under 60 power does a lot more damage with Technician, and that's really cool. If we can use Bullet Seed, we can probably... we can't kill a Donphan with Bullet Seed if it hits 5 times, but we can kill some of his other mons if it hits 5 times. I know it's banking on a lot to hit 5 times with Bullet Seed, but it can do some serious work if you can get into situations where it can do some serious work. And we've got Moth Punch that can do some serious damage as well, and Rock Tomb is here basically to do some serious damage to things like Crobat and Rabombi if we're needing to. It's not a switch in for Crobat and Rabombi because we'd get destroyed by them, but if we're in a situation where we're in and he's switching in, basically clicking Rock Tomb would probably be the best option instead of switching out myself. So clicking Rock Tomb might not be a bad idea at the end of the day here, and it will probably do some interesting damage too. It might not kill, but it should do some serious damage. And then we have Charles. Charles is our kill leader with 2 kills at the moment in time, and I'm hoping he'll get some more because he's definitely wearing that captain's armband right now. Anyway, so he's Nidoking, he's holding a Life Orb this week, he's not holding his Scarf, he's not got a very nice Scarf that makes him, you know, look very nice and very stylish. He's got an Orb this week, so hopefully he can do just as much damage with an Orb that he did with his Scarf. And he has Sheer Force for an ability, and of course he has the moves of Focus Blast, Earth Power, Ice Beam, and Sludge Wave, with the stats of 252 in special attack, 200 in speed, 4 in special defense, 4 in defense, and 48 in HP. Now it's a very interesting set here. We do outspeed quite a few things with this set with the 200 in speed, so that's really nice. We also do quite a bit of damage with things. Earth Power can do some serious damage as long as we don't have to deal with Levitate and stuff like that. Earth Power can do some serious damage to things like Raikou. It's not the ultimate switch in for Raikou, that's coming up in a minute, but it could do some serious damage if we need to bring Raikou in. But the fact is, Extra Sentry is a thing. I'm not sure he's going to be packing it, but there's always the fear of Raikou carrying out Extra Sentry, and I don't really want to fear that, so it could be a thing, it could not be a thing, but you've always got to prepare for an eventuality, you know, you always got to prepare for that eventuality. Focus Blast is here for the Umbreon, basically that's just basically what it's here for. It can do some serious damage to that Umbreon, and hopefully we can do some serious work to the Umbreon. We've got no investment in our attack, so Foul Play shouldn't do too much damage to us really when it comes down to it, if we are to switch in Nidoking to deal with Umbreon, so it should be okay really. I don't know personally, but it could work. Then we have Runner. Runner is my Suicune with the leftovers with pressure for the ability, and basically this is a Crocoon set. You cannot say too much. This is a Crocoon set, and I love it because it's a Crocoon set. It's the reason why I drafted this thing, and it's the reason why I love this thing. Crocoon is amazing. So of course, with a Crocoon set, we have Calm Mind, Scold, Rest, and Sleep Talk. We have 252 in defense, 8 in special defense, 248 in HP. So basically it's Runner in a nutshell. Runner is a Crocoon, and that bold nature, its moves and its stats are going to help us out be a Crocoon. There's really not much you can say about a Crocoon, and the fact that he has not a good team but runs against it, so a Crocoon set is really interesting, and I cannot wait to use this thing. This is my time to use a Crocoon set. In the IBL, I got swept by a Crocoon set, and I was not very happy, but this time it's my turn to use a Crocoon set, and I will destroy people with my Crocoon set. And I hope that nobody carries Raw. There's Mons that could carry Raw on his team, like Empoleon could carry Raw, but I'm not expecting him to bring it, and if he did, what are the eventualities of him carrying Raw? It just seems like a really weird, it just seems like two interesting combinations that would be very, very rare to happen. So I don't see it happening, I really don't. But if it does, what are you going to do about it? There's really not much else you can do. It was a nice idea. But, you know, hopefully he won't Raw. And hopefully he won't bring Empoleon with Raw. But we'll honestly see. I do have counters and switch-ins for it just in case it does come with things like Charles or Clubber Lang. But I really don't think Empoleon's coming. But we'll have to wait and see on that. And then we have Extension Cord. Extension Cord is my circuitry, or as I like to call it, Exuntry. Yeah, I can't spell or pronounce names pretty well, but Extension Cord is my Exuntry. It is holding a Assault Vest with Beast Boost for the ability. It's got Hidden Power Ground to deal with Raikou. It's got Energy Ball to do some serious damage to some Pokemon, and it's got, well, it probably works with Throw Alligator really, and it can usually do some things to Empoleon as well if we need it to. It's got a Dazzling Gleam to deal with a lot of his Mons. This could be an actual really interesting switch in on Umbreon. Not suggesting it's a good idea, but it could work. We got Energy Ball that could work against Donphan. If he decides to bring in Donphan against us, we could use Energy Ball. We could also, and once we got rid of the Donphan, we can Volt Switch around a bit, and that would be really cool to use some Volt Switch action. So there's some interesting ideas with this moveset, and hopefully it can all go to plan and work for us with Exuntry. Its stats: 252 in special attack, 216 in speed, 4 in defense, 4 in special defense, and 32 in HP. So we can outspeed a couple of things with this, and we can do some serious damage with that amazing special attack that Exuntry has. And of course Beast Boost is a thing, so every time we kill a Mon, we get more of our stats, and hopefully that means we get more special attack, which means in other words we can be even more of a disaster against him, and that would be really cool too. So that is the team. Let me know what you think in the description below, and before we end this video, I want to show you guys the standings for week 1. Well, I say week 1, some people have already played their week 2 matchups, so I want to show you the standings going into my week 2 matchup. So we are in 6th place at the moment in time. We have won 1 match and we've got points. We got 3 points. The interesting match from week 1, I like to think, is the fact that the Austin Aggrons, Season 1 champions, got destroyed by the Toronto SwaBlu Jays 6-0. They got destroyed. So much so, the coach of the Toronto SwaBlu Jays decided not to commentate the episode. He just decided to just ramble on in his episode about just random things and just not pay attention to the battle at all. I mean, I understand that, you know, you don't want to commentate a 6-0 victory because it makes you seem like you're cocky, but it does the opposite effect if you don't commentate on it too. So it makes him seem like he's cocky anyway. By not commentating on the battle, it makes it seem like he's cocky. But I wonder how he'd like a 6-0 if we did it to him back. It's an interesting idea. May have to try and pull it off. But that's a lot of work there to actually do that. And it's very, very interesting for the champions to go down that badly in week 1. Maybe the Austin Aggrons can bounce back in week 2. We'll have to wait and see on that. As for our opponents this week, the Poole Piplups, they are in 3rd with that 5-0. A lot of people got 5-0s in week 1, so yeah. There's quite a few people who got some interesting wins. I got a 3-0, which is kind of decent, kind of reasonable when you think about it. But sadly, because other people got like 4-0s, 5-0s, and the amazing 6-0 that the SwaBlu Jays got, means my 3-0 is kind of minuscule. but it's still a good win. I still like my 3-0, but sadly it wasn't enough really. I need to do better because of the fact that there were results which sort of say, haha, you can do a 3-0 when I can do a 6-0 and just completely blow you out the park. So yeah, a little bit worried about what's going to happen when I face these teams that got 4-0s and 5-0s and 6-0s. So I'm facing one of those teams with a 5-0, so not looking forward to it, but I'm going to be interested to see how this battle goes. And of course, if you did enjoy this video and you're on YouTube, you can leave a like, comment and subscribe. If you're on VidMe, you can leave an upvote, you can follow the channel and you can comment as well. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on the team going into this battle. I need your support for this one. Support your Chester Chinchows. Of course, don't forget to check out all of the coaches that are taking part in the WSS and my assistant coach, Darude Leaf Storm. Sadly, he couldn't be here this week, but he'll be here next week. And what he doesn't know about battles isn't worth knowing, because he's that goddamn awesome when it comes to battles. But anyway, anyway, this is where I'm going to leave off. So until next time, join us on Sunday for the battle, Sunday night 8 PM for that battle. And of course, until next time, I'm JoesphGames, and from the Darude Leaf Storm and the Chester Chinchows, mean de la Pokemon, get the laza. Everybody get Pokemon. Good night.